Well, hello and welcome everybody. And today I have wonderful Renee with me. I'm so excited. I haven't seen her in so long. Well, I've seen her
Yeah,
on the
it's been a minute
show.
since we've had a chance to catch
Yeah,
up
catch up.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And she's doing so fabulously with the website for the Tarot Love community and the games and the conversations that she's having on her channel. And I don't know, I'm just really, really pleased. You've come such a long, long way. We have a lot to talk about. My goodness. Yeah, it was a year ago, about a year ago, Renee, that in November that I started on here. And you were like one of the first people, you and Andrea were like the first people that I connected with, really.
Mhm.
So it's almost been a year, and lots of big changes in your life and mine and everyone else's, but I'm just so pleased to have you here. Thank you.
Oh, I'm pleased to be here and contribute to the story. As a matter of
Agreed.
fact, I was telling Dr. Gail from Skywalking with Moon, I just had my show with her. She came and talked to us about star seeds.
Uh-huh.
Fascinating conversation. Learned some very interesting things. But I was telling her, it's been a year, and it's been. I would have never thought in a million years that I'd be doing what I'm doing now, but here we are. I'm
Like the
enjoying
rest
it.
of
So
us.
yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's had such a phenomenal advancements in the last year. I think both professionally and personally
Mhm.
around the community. There's just a lot of gearing up, I guess, is the best
Yeah,
description.
you're right. Yeah. I mean, I'm ever grateful to Cat Mama for her suggestion. I've had so much good feedback from people that have come on so far, and of course, I have more because there's a lot more people going to come. So I'm
Well,
really
yeah,
happy.
and the other thing I was telling her too, it kind of reminds me. I worked on this herstory project back in, I don't know, probably the mid 2000s, and it was this these two women, this couple that were going around and collecting female stories, primarily
Uh huh.
LGBT stuff. But yeah, I mean, this whole notion of collecting our stories during this particular time period resonated because it was something I'd been a part of before in a different
In a
capacity.
different way, yeah. But
Yeah,
still,
but
yeah.
still, the stories and a lot of us, I think, come from those backgrounds where not only were we not encouraged to share our stories, they weren't, the stories were not shared with us. It was
Right.
children are better seen and not heard type of situation. And, stories of the past were shameful and not educational. There was just this whole
It's a story around a story.
yeah, and it just keeps going and going. But now here we are with this ability to share our stories, and if that contributes in any way to someone else not having to take the as Gail put it, the colorful path
Right.
that brought me here,
Uh-huh.
then I'm all for that, because I would not,
Really.
certainly not recommend my path to anyone else. But yeah, I'm happy to share and answer questions and whatever
Yeah.
if somebody's going to find that information useful.
Definitely, definitely. And I think really the bridge to a lot of our connectivity here was you starting this whole thing with Andrea, really, and how your vision, and you didn't really see yourself, I don't think, being on a YouTube channel at the
Yeah, no,
time.
that wasn't
That was
originally part, but I
right.
mean, none of this was originally part of the first
That's true.
concept. I
No,
mean,
that's true.
the
Yeah.
what brought me into this was when I was getting to the point where I was finding channels and readers that I wanted to follow and keep up with. And I was like, well, where's their programming schedule? Where can I go find what time
Yeah.
everybody comes on? And it doesn't exist. It's not there. I mean, you have to go. I mean, everybody, I'm excited. We just got our community page. So I've started putting, in addition to promotions
Right.
on Instagram. I'm doing the promotions on our community page now.
So you reached your 1,000 or more.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's fabulous.
Yeah. Less than 2 months, and we passed our 1,000 mark. So yeah, no, that's very exciting. But
it is exciting. Yeah.
But yeah, so just trying to reach out, but there's so many community tabs and community pages.
I know.
It's still hard to get out there and find the information, and so that's what led me to create the community calendar.
Right.
It was a means of having something out there that all of us in the community can look to see what's happening and what's going on. So we need to plan time accordingly or whatever the case may be. But it's a centralized location, just in the same way that this virtual community center is becoming a centralized location to get information, to share information, whatever is needed in that moment.
What I love most about it is when I first came on, and Andrea and Debbie and Danny and Scott, and other people had collaborations, but now the collaborations are just getting bigger and bigger exponentially. And it's refreshing to see that people are all about building this community without divisiveness or, arguing or any of that stuff. It's a nice feeling. It's a nice feeling.
It is, and for the most, we're all humans. We're all going to have our human foibles and human issues from time to time. But overwhelmingly, you're absolutely right. It's very cohesive. How the community is coming together and supportive and. And folks are all coming together all over the place.
They are. Yeah. Even across the sea,
Yeah. Like our community conversation series that we've started. It's really a matter of, I'm curious about these things. So I'm inviting people to come and give us a taste of it so that we can decide, because there's just so much of this metaphysical stuff out there that you can get overwhelmed, or you can get down this path where you're shelling out all this money that you probably don't need to shell out. So, this gives us an opportunity to find the things that resonate with us.
Yeah, that's the most.
Put our time and energy and financial backing into learning what connects with us, rather than having a stack of tarot cards that we just aren't quite sure what to do with.
Right. Amen to that. It is fun to watch the different readers read they read tarot, of course, differently, or like Andrea. It's nice to see Andrea has her own deck, and now it's out there for people, and a lot of other people are working sort of similarly and something like that. So some people may know this about you, some people may not know this about you, but you were home when COVID and 45 came through. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, I came home at December of 2018, and then 2019 was when I was going through my medical stuff. So by the time everybody went into quarantine, I'd pretty much been doing that for a year and a half. So I was a little ahead of the curve on that.
You could have taught us a lot about that. But anyway, yeah. And so you had started watching certain channels like Andrea's and other people's channels at that time in 2019?
No, I didn't come. No. I didn't. No, 2019. No. Okay. I was pretty much drugged the entire year.
You were in a lot of pain.
Between the pain and being in the hospital and recovering from it just no. I didn't start getting into the stuff. Really, it was probably June or July of last year. So just before this 1 year point that we're at. that I was finally getting to the place where at that point in time, my life was pretty much coloring. Like I had my markers.
Hey, I love to color.
Yeah, and my all my coloring books. That's what I was doing at the time for both occupational therapy and just mental health stuff. That was pretty well as much as I could handle at the time. And so once I was getting to the point where I was finally getting bored with that and my mind was finally starting to want stimulation again, I, like everybody else, I'm stumbling around YouTube just for shits and giggles and finally start looking at the horoscope tarot card readings.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
And so I started listening to those, and like, well, okay, sure. What? Tell me what the Capricorns have to say. And so I kind of got into that, and that's what eventually led me to finding Scott and Andrea in particular. They were sort of my first introduction, and then the messages that I was getting through the horoscope portion of the cards and everything kept telling me stuff like, you're going to be a spiritual community leader, and you're going to have this partner. And, then all of a sudden everything starts talking about purple colors and this, that, and the other. I mean, I stay here in my house by myself, right? I'm not really a huge purple person. So when you start noticing purple in your own house, all of a sudden, that to me, it speaks a little, that's quite meaningful. So,
well, also the lilac lantern was purple.
Exactly. So that's exactly it. Because I kept going, why do they keep talking to me about this woman in Canada? What the heck? And so finally I just reached out to her, and it was I think she thought I was wanting for her to teach me how to read cards. And I was like, well, yes, but no.
Okay.
I was like, see, what happened was apparently we're going to be business partners of some sort. So, when I started explaining to her about this, this community center, to her credit, before we even really got into any depth of it, she said yes. So she's kind of be the side of the readers, and somebody who can look at it from that point of view, while I do things from this side of things, and it just. It's worked. We still don't necessarily know exactly what it all means, but you're
getting it. It's come. You're just doing
it's all
it,
coming together.
Yeah, it does. It's amazing, Renee, really. I mean, you started out too much like being moderators in all of our chats, and now you're really too busy to be doing that because you have all this other stuff to do, which is still
that reminds me, anybody who is interested, I am collecting for the cheer squad. So if any of our moderators or regular chat people are interested in being on the cheer squad, reach out to me, tarotlovecommunity@gmail.com, and we'll have a chat about it. But I've got a cheat sheet that I can send out to everybody, and I can walk you through the process. But it's folks like you who have joined the community as a registered member, and who have given us permission to promote you and what you do on your channel here. So it's just an extension of all of that.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I do want to mention hello to everybody, especially those that are moderators. Yeah, I don't want to ignore you all. Thank you for being here. It's really nice. Gina wants to know what a cheer squad is.
Gina, when you see me going around and then I'm talking about what's coming up later in the week, or sharing the readers' links to their channels or their web pages or whatever the case is, whatever they've given us to share, That's what I'm talking about. It's just going around and doing that aspect of it, like I do in the chats where I'm talking about, go over here and share subscriber love, or, like here's what's coming up next week, or, whatever the case may be and that's why I encourage people. And I do have videos out there too. I've got a video about how to utilize the community calendar. There's a video about news and updates that has in-depth information about the Cheer Squad program, as well as we're going to be doing a mentor match program here soon. We're still trying to get the scholarship funds flowing, so we're still working on getting our Oracle deck collaboration put together so that the funds that are raised through the sales of those Oracle decks will go directly to the scholarship fund, so that we can send more people out to take classes or have private readings if they've got something major going on in their life that they just need some help with. Or again, with the mentor match program that's going to be coming up, we're going to find a way. We're going to match people with the tools, the stuff that they just need somebody to sit down with them for an hour and go through. Whether it's, the Canva that everybody's all excited about now, the Canva program, or whether you need somebody to hold your hand and walk you through how to get your YouTube channel set up, or Instagram, or, whatever the case is, or if there's a specific issue that you're needing to address in your psychic development, we'll find somebody to. But it's also
a clearinghouse. Yeah, it's a clearinghouse.
Yeah, but it's also something I want to make sure that everybody understands about it, is that for the mentor match program in particular, we're not just gonna do it and leave it alone. We're gonna do a follow, and that's why with the mentors we're gonna have to get folks involved, and they're going to need to register specifically for the mentor match program, because we're not only going to be asking them about to share their time with these individuals, but also to fill out, once they're done, an assessment form, basically, to determine whether or not we actually met the needs of the person that approached us, or if we need to reevaluate and find somebody else that can help them with that situation. So it's that in particular is a big undertaking. I don't know that we'll really get it up and running until the first part of next year. But yeah, whatever comes up, and for the community center, it's really important to me that, I'm not inviting people on to do readings or anything like that. I'm just inviting them to come and talk to us about their story or their perspective. And then the rest of it's just about having some fun. We've done the Mad Chat karaoke, and we had the Rebel card game, and next Friday, the 29th, we're going to be doing our very first open mic night. So if you've got a story to share, or a poem that you've written, or you sing a song, or you play a musical instrument, or you want to do a comedy routine for us, whatever the case may be, reach out to me. I'm getting the list together. And for our very first inaugural episode, our guest MC is going to be the fabulous Linda G. So,
wow, isn't that great? Okay,
yeah,
that's really good.
Put your stuff together if you've got artwork. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to reach out to Claudia if I haven't already, and I think I might have sent her an email earlier, to be honest, and see if she wanted to come read one of her children's books for us.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So just whatever it is that,
I love that.
Your talent or your gift is that you want to share with us, come 10, 15 minutes. Say hi to Linda G. Share your story or your song or whatever the case is, and just another way for us to get to know each other and support one another, and provide a safe place for those things to happen.
Those things. Yeah, it is a wonderful place. So Andrea's working on this. Some of the people are saying that they're having a hard time figuring out how to sign up, or it says all this in the chat. I'm going to recommend that you write to Tarot Love Community at gmail.com.
Renee that's going to be the default on anything. If you can't figure it out or something's, and the website is quite behind. I'm in the middle of a major overhaul of the website to kind of streamline it into what's taking place now and what's coming into formation now. So there's it's a little behind, but I will start putting out I've got links to forums and that sort of thing. So all that'll be in one place on the website in the very near future. But in the meantime, any questions that you have or anything you want to participate in, or you have an idea or a suggestion, absolutely reach out to me. No. Not hard to find. So
no, that's true. you're all in the connectedness with the TLC. I'm guessing she can be a member. I'm a member, and I wasn't originally a tarot reader.
Well, there's two different, and again, I've got a video up to help explain it about the difference between tarotlovecommunity.net site membership and being a registered member. Absolutely anybody who feels drawn to us is more than welcome to sign up as a website site member. That's just a matter of going in, saying, logging in on the tarotlovecommunity.net. The only reason that we have a site membership that you have to log into is because we are committed to providing a safe and troll-free environment. And so that you have to have a sign-in to get to places like our bulletin board, which is our community forum.
Excellent.
And then as far as being a registered member, that simply means that you've filled out the registration form, that you've shared what you want to share with us. And essentially, it's giving me permission to say nice things about you and talk about what you're doing. That's really all it boils down to.
That's true.
But better to cover all of our tushies and make sure that we do, in fact, have these permissions. And but that's kind of the idea of it, is that, the people who register with us, they've all been vetted. I've talked to these people. I've read their stuff. I've gone and looked at their channels. These are all people who very much resonate with the stated missions and guidelines and everything else that we've established for the community center. These are the people that are teaching the classes. Marie Henson, and you don't have to be a reader. It's just being a part of the community to be a site member. And it's really fun, because the bulletin board is really starting to.
It is picking up.
There's a lot of conversations that go on, and one of the nice things about it is that it gives you a place to communicate with the members without having to be subject to other guidelines and other rules and regulations. It works not only as a means of like direct messaging or text messaging type of scenario, but you can also do the group chats, basically. So you can do your own little group of people that you talk to, and like I said, you're not hindered by having to keep your language and everything appropriate for the masses, shall we say.
Politically correct. Yes, Andrea's right, and other people have also mentioned, and I know you just interviewed Dr. Gail, and she actually is here, or was. So if you did not know this, Tarot Love Community, Renee has these discussions with people, and you ought to check it out, because we've
only just started with this. About our second. This is really only our second week getting into it, but next week Next week, we're continuing the conversation that Kim at Intuitive View started.
Okay.
Sunday evening,
Right.
Jay from Herc 213 is going to come by and talk to us
Oh,
as an
he's
extension.
wonderful.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
did that video about, the perspective of being an American from the point of view of a Black man, or being a Black man in America.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's
Beautiful.
yeah. So just extending that platform and that opportunity for
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling it voices of the community. So
Yeah.
again, whatever you want to talk about, whatever stories you have to share about your perspective and your very unique perspective of walking this earth, this lifetime, then yeah, we want to hear about it.
Sure.
I hope to open up the floor, whether it's a matter of a skin color or sexuality or whatever the case may be. We all have very interesting and unique perspectives that we can
we can share.
contribute to the conversation, right?
Absolutely.
So we've got that. Then Tuesday, Danny Shea's going to come by and talk to us about the shaman's journey.
Good.
We've got I hate it. There's one on Thursday that I think that I cannot remember for the life of me for whatever reason. But then we also have Saturday, next Saturday on the 30th. Joyce All Knowing Tarot is going to come by and talk to us about the 1, 2, 3s of numerology.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear
it's
that.
just one of those things, like whatever little thing that y'all want to hear about, let me know. I mean, folks have information that they're willing to share with us, so snag it while we can.
Absolutely. So, I mean, it's kind of obvious to me what kind of sustenance you have had with this community, but maybe not with everybody that doesn't know you. Not that you and I know each other so well, but probably for a little bit longer. So what kind of sustenance have you gotten from the community?
I mean, I think the biggest thing that I'm enjoying is the fact that, one, it's been so easy to communicate with people of this community. I'm finding that by and large, whomever I'm talking to, we just pick up a conversation like we've been having one for years, first time conversation. And, all of it, there's so much recognition in each of us, there's just this, we know each other some kind of way, it just is. And that is certainly not anything that I've experienced up to this point in my life, having a group of people that you can just, pick up the phone. And I'm not a phone person. I spent way too much time in my career on the phone, you know what I mean? So I'm really not a phone person, but it's getting to the point now where they're hours long conversations, and they just go on forever.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter who I'm talking to, just we wind around all these, and it's just this natural flow and this natural purple elephant souls recognize each other.
Yes, we do.
And then on top of it, and I noticed this I guess first because with Claudia, she was the first one to come and do this. And of course, I've talked to Claudia a couple of times as well. And the thing that's getting me, it makes me so happy and so proud, is that all these women in particular, and no offense to you guys out there, but those women in particular that are coming together to share their stories right now, this is the most articulate,
I agree,
inspirational. I mean, the stuff that comes out of people's mouth is just like, I know. Wow, ain't none of the folks around here stupid. by any stretch
No.
of the imagination, you
That's
know,
right.
and
Yeah.
just listening to these stories and what everybody, I mean, you don't really and truly on a large scale run into a lot of people with the kind of credentials and resumes that the
True.
folks around me have. I mean,
It's very
listed
true.
off
Yeah.
their Claudia's what, a chemist or something, or a biologist. I can't
Something like
remember.
that. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, and then she's got this whole other thing where she does the writing, and I mean, we are just a fascinating group of people as far as I can tell.
Absolutely. And as Marie says, these lives are the only socialization because she's sort of homebound, I guess, or something. And
well, yeah,
and,
we all are.
Yeah, we all. Well, yeah, we were for a long time. If we're not,
So, I mean, a lot of us still are. That
still are, and we're all a scooch crazy, and I agree with that. Crazy in a good way. Yeah,
a little bonkers, but you know. We wear it well.
We wear it well. That's right. That's right. It's fun to have. It's fun to laugh. I think that, we had a lot of missing laughter, in our lives, that especially you, if you were home all that time coloring, but, really.
Well, and then that wasn't even the coloring didn't even come into play until after I'd been laying around for a while. But I mean, a lot of that was just, I was physically incapable.
Right.
Yeah. Doing things. I mean, that was at a point where my fairy godmother was having to come every 2 or 3 days to help. I mean, it was a good 45 minutes, hour drive one way for her to come up here, but she was coming up here 2 or 3 times a week to help me with, taking care of the animals, taking a shower.
Wow.
Helping clean up that was a point in my life when, she brought my groceries and everything. And I was mostly what I lived off of was snack type stuff, yogurt.
Make things. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't cook. The extent of my ability to cook at that point in time was the cups of macaroni and cheese where you add water.
Right. Microwave.
And I was grateful to be able to do that. But,
sure. Yep.
But yeah, But so to have this now on a more regular basis where, essentially if you pop on at any time of the day, there's going to be somewhere you can go
that has
to find your familiars, to find your soul tribe and interact with them. And
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And I want people to understand too, that with the community center, if I can't do anything else, you guys, I can listen. So if that's what it's about, if you're just needing someone to lend you a shoulder and an ear, then please, I'm more than happy to do that, because I understand what a difference that can make in those crucial moments. Just having somebody that you can pick up the phone and say, I need you. Can you please come and be with me? And even if we can't do that physically, we can still do it within the bounds of this virtual community.
We can. I've seen people reaching out for prayer. Somebody's sick or whatever, and they're in the chat and they ask for it, and we stop what we're doing and we do it. We send love out to them. There's always time for love.
And as a matter of fact, I think next month, that's another thing I'm going to start doing is, I think I'm going to call it blessings and benedictions. Just a thing where you can, I'm going to do up a little form that you can go and fill out. And if you're needing prayers, if you're needing somebody to think of you and wrap you in love and light, then we're just going to go through and do that probably once a week. Just kind of go through and share their names and share them out loud so that they are out there, so that the universe can hear us.
It's and another way of looking at it is calling it holding space for someone. You don't have to talk, you don't have to do anything. We'll just send you what you need. This is pretty interesting. Andrea says, I wonder if many
I
of
was
us
just
were
looking at that. Yeah.
I love that. You know, I never
Thank
realized
you,
all that
Gina.
about the purple and all that stuff until you told me today. And I just love it. I mean, the way it unfolded for you, and you're scratching your head and saying, why is this happening? And
Yeah,
you're opening up. You're
all
opening
of
up.
a sudden, I stumble across this lilac lantern, and then the next thing that happens is I start getting all these messages about purple stuff, and yes, I mean, it was very clear.
Right.
The message that I was getting was very clear. It was pointing to Andrea, so I was very grateful that she didn't look at me like a lunatic when when we first met up to discuss it, because I was like, look, I mean, I know this sounds weird, but some tarot cards and some colors are telling me that I got to talk to you about some things.
Well, that was the same way when Keith was on with me on the channel in the very beginning, and you connected with Keith and talked to him about, the proposition of what you were doing. And God, I think he wanted you to come on the channel then, didn't he, or something? I can't.
Yeah, he was all about getting me on screen right away, and it didn't take long, but it definitely took a minute to go. Is that what I'm supposed to do? Like, really?
Well,
okay,
absolutely. All right, so Libra lady needs prayers for her cousin's father-in-law, George B. Diagnosed. I'm so sorry to hear that,
Libra lady. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're sending out lots of love and light to him.
Healing, love, and light. Absolutely.
Yeah. God bless him. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
I like that, Sherry, the willingness of everyone in this community that not only draws people in, but has them become involved. Yeah, absolutely.
I have been so pleased to have these people agree, like Sherry, and I'm going to have Andrea, and I had Valerie, all these people that are usually in the chat coming to talk. And I know not everybody wants to do that, but it's just such a blessing.
That's I like that it's happening elsewhere, because hopefully that will put more people at ease to come on to the Tarot Love Community channel.
That's
because
right.
Again, it's really truly meant to be a virtual community center. Sure. It's truly meant to be a place where we can gather, communicate, help people, whatever the case is. So yeah, Chris Martin, if you've got something you want to come talk about, come holler at me. We'll get you
that, Chris. that might be your calling. Who knows? Yeah. Oh, Marie, I'm sending love and prayer to your dad, having vertigo. I'm sorry that that's a horrible thing to deal with. You try to get up and you're spinning all over the place. I certainly hope that he's feeling much better soon. So this has been wonderful. What are you in need of, Rene? You've given us some idea of what you're in need of, and I guess is there anything else you need? Do you need any compassion or community? I guess if anybody, I guess you already did sort of address this by saying, please come tell your stories. That's what you need, right? On your channel.
That whatever your specialty is, what your area of expertise, it's just a matter. I mean, the doors are open to the community center. So whatever it is that you're needing, come talk to me. If you don't see what would be beneficial to you in its current iteration,
suggest something else.
Yeah, suggest it. I'm not one of those people that's like, it's got to be my way. I mean,
no, you aren't.
Probably a good chunk of what's out there now is from somebody going, "Oh, maybe try this." And so,
it's
there's
fun to do that. Yeah,
and it's just about creating the community. I mean, obviously, there's there's real life considerations to be made at some point or another. This has got to start turning into some kind of money-making venture to, you know, so that I can support myself to continue to do this.
Right.
But it's not a big push right now. And those are the things that, you know, it's my understanding that as long as we keep moving forward, seeking in gratitude and love and seeking abundance, that these things are going to work themselves out. That's always been my experience, even when I didn't understand what was happening. So now that I understand it, I'm not as anxious about it as I might be once upon a time would have been. But yeah, I mean, just donations of time, energy, spirit, all of that. All of it combines together and brings us one step closer to the goal of ascension and enlightenment.
That's right. That's right. Well, Rene, I have to tell you that knowing you from the beginning, when I first came on here, and seeing you and how you have grown and blossomed so much, it's just a beautiful transformation. And I see, you know, how important this is to you, and everybody in the chat is so grateful and saying they're grateful for all the work you do for all of us, really. So I admire you, and I thank you for that work that you do, because I know a lot of it goes unthanked or you know, unappreciated. Yeah.
Well, but that's the difference, I think, in doing this here in this environment and in the real world experiences of the past, is that even if it's not spoken, it's felt. The gratitude and everything is felt here. Even
that's the way I feel too. When
even if it's not spoken, I mean, you know, it doesn't. I don't know. It's just, it's for a cause, you know. It's for a mission, and
we all came here.
I just have faith that this group that's coming together, this frontline group, this first wave or first charge or whatever it is we're calling ourselves, it's just it feels humbling, and it feels important what we're doing to bring ourselves together and to share our stories and share our
knowledge,
perceptions and our knowledge, because I mean, nobody else in the universe is right here right now doing what you're doing. You know, it's just really that unique. As infinite as we all are, as much as you would think that that you would be stepping on each other's toes constantly, that's not the case. I mean, nobody else has lived the life that I've lived. Nobody else has lived the life that you've lived. And if we keep those stories and that knowledge from each other, then we just keep spinning our wheels in the same muck. Whereas if we can start to put all our pieces of ourselves together to see the larger thing, then, I mean, you get a lot more out of it that way.
You do. Marie, that's beautiful. We all
need not a bad gift, Marie, at all.
That's we need virtual and real ones. Well, is there anything else that you would like to say? I can't thank you enough for coming. I think.
I mean, if we answered the questions, then I think we accomplished what we needed to accomplish. But
absolutely.
But yeah, absolutely. And I hope you'll come around and maybe do something for our open mic night next week. And find something you want to come talk about. We'll add you on the community conversations list for sure.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I'll have to do my digging.
I know, right? It's kind of lately just been whenever I think of something like, ooh, let me ask them about that.
There you go. There you go. And I think that you'll probably never run out of things, honestly. But at the same time, it's nice to know we can just write you up and say, maybe this, how's this sound? And it's
right now it's just simply a matter of finding the people who have the information that they want to share with us. I'm not even entirely sure what all the subjects are out there that we can delve into. But for right now, it's just a matter of um, sharing what we know, sharing what we've learned.
So beautiful, really. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Renee. Thank you, everybody that came
Thank
by.
you for the chat,
Yes.
and thank you for having me, Allie.
Of course. You come back anytime you want, girl.
Of
Take
course.
care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
See you later.